morning, everyone. Just walked into the door. I have a meeting this morning that I have to go to, and of course when I was driving, whoops, hit the bucket. But of course when I was driving my son to school, he decided to cough to the point where he throws up. So then I had to drive him back. So now my husband is going to be taking him to school, but then that was a whole mess. And I did stop because I needed to get, sounds so bad, but I needed to get a freaking linguine for lunch because I didn't pack a lunch for myself. And so I also got a few like little goodies. I have a student who like wanted to have a lunch with me. So I got her like, she likes chips. So we got some chips, got some like Oreos, and I got her a Sprite so that we can kind of enjoy and have some book talks, because that's kind of what she was saving it for, was to have some book talks with me. So it is now my second break for the day, and today has gone really well. It's been a little chaotic. I was able to get at least 5 DRAs done so far, which I'm back on DRA time schedule. So now I really need to get focused on some DRAs. So I've done that. I've had my small groups and they're going really well. So we've gone back over nonfiction text features, and I created, let me see. I've created this thing. You see it? Here it is. Created that, and now what I'm doing is they are going out and creating a book creator. So I'm having them go through some text that they're finding in various picture books, and they're checking things off using this list. And then once they've kind of checked things off and are finding things within a text, they're going into book creator that's inside of an app, and they're almost creating a guide of their own, an anchor chart of their own to be able to go back and reference to. After looking at some of just the scores that I was getting, they weren't that great. So I'm gonna go back, hit text features really hard right now. Tomorrow they're gonna do the same, just with a separate set of text features, and we're still going through it and reading some of those Scholastic magazines, which has been really awesome and fun. So we're digging deep into that. I just had writing, and just kind of like as an update of how the whole schedule is going, it's going really well. So now we've had 2 days where we truly have had a writing time and then a science and social studies time. So the way that my plans kind of work is I will teach the same lesson almost 2 days in a row. I may advance one lesson a little bit more than the others, just depending on the group that I have, but it's working out really well so far. We have to kind of get into a little bit of a faster routine. They're kind of dragging when they're switching, so we got to get them used to doing a little bit better with that. I have a sub tomorrow, and I am not prepared at all for my sub. I can't even like come here in the morning because I have to be at that school at 8 o'clock. So there is no way that I am leaving anytime soon today. So you know, you guys, like those moments where you feel honestly like you have failed so bad. That is what I'm feeling right now. I have to be out tomorrow. Today was a really rough day in school. I have nothing done. It is almost 6 o'clock because I had a meeting right after school that has kind of kept me busy, and I'm still here. I am not at home where I feel like I need to be. I don't do well with stress, like at all. And I am very emotional right now. I hate that I was late last night for the reading. And then I hate that I am not at home right now. And I have so much to get done. My plans are not finished. My room was a mess because my kids were literally running out like as the bell was going. Like they were like dropping everything to get out so they wouldn't miss the bus. And I've been cleaning up this entire time because I have a sub tomorrow morning, and I can't come in the morning because I have to drop off my son at daycare and have to be at a different school at 8 o'clock, which I will already be pushing it to get there. I don't like this. These are the days that I just don't like. Okay, so I have been able to compose myself. It is a little bit after 8 o'clock. I have just about gotten all of my things done for my sub, minus my lesson plans. There's still a few little things that I need to do there. And then I have students who are out of my classroom that I need to get work for. So I'm working on finishing up that along with their kind of like lesson plan checklist that they're working on. I did leave a little goodie for my sub that there. Everything's kind of written out over here, so everything is pretty much ready to go. I just need to clean up a couple of bits and pieces that I have going on here. Okay, so now that I've done that, I know that I told you guys that I was going to talk about student choice today, and the main thing that I really want to talk about is writing for student choice. So I'm going to put you down. So I wanted to talk to you guys about writing with student choice, and I know that there are a lot of districts and a lot of counties that really like to incorporate some type of like journaling. The only fear with that is that you're taking away a lot of that student choice when it comes to them picking the topic that they're writing about. So here's kind of how I format my writing. So I do have a writing lesson that I kind of do every single day, and with my writing lesson I give them a skill that they have to go back and practice. So like for instance, today's lesson was more on sentence structure, looking at the variety of sentences that they were doing. So I modeled it and then I had them go back and practice it. So that was kind of the bulk of their writing for the actual writing lesson. But I also require my students to write independently. So when they're writing independently, they get a lot of choice with their independent writing. Now, some of my students are really good with coming up with their own topic. We worked a lot at the very beginning of the year with creating maps, on brainstorming and the different ways that we brainstorm and different organizers that we can use. So they are very accustomed to some of those. Typically they'll do like the 4 squares, and we did a lot about with feeling. We did a lot with holidays, brainstorming different types of holidays, different types of feelings. So times when they were happy, times when they were sad, times when they were hurt, times when they were scared, so on and so forth. So my students have already gotten really accustomed to that and are very much so used to it. So when they're looking for something to write about, a lot of the time they'll go back to some of those brainstorming ideas in their notebook and they'll look at those, and then sometimes they will create new lists that they want to write about, and that is perfectly okay. Right now we're working on informational, so we're starting to build that brainstorming library inside of their writer's notebook for informational and things that they know all about. So when they are using that writing time, I do require them to tell me exactly where they are in the writing process. So I don't just let them free write, because if we let them free write, a lot of the times kids will get distracted, they won't go through the actual process. So they are obligated to tell me in which writing process that they are in. So in their writer learning targets, okay, so in their learning targets, they're telling me explicitly what it is that they're doing. They're telling me if they're in the brainstorming process. They're telling me whether they are, what part of that process that they are working on. So I have kids telling me that they're brainstorming things about animals. I have kids that are telling me that they're brainstorming things about friends. And then they go on to telling me that they're doing the writing, or that day they did the editing. So they're constantly telling me exactly what part of the process it's in. I check this every single day, so I know exactly where students are and if things just don't quite match up. Now, if you don't have something like this, I highly suggest having somewhere in the classroom where they are able to kind of move their names and put their names so that you constantly know what process that they're in. Now, this is definitely separate from the lesson that I am teaching. So we will have about 2 or 3 different writings that we will do as a class, but then students are also working on some writing independently. Writing is so important to help build that stamina just like anything else, and to really allow them to take ownership and really enjoy something that they are writing about. So when you take that away and you are forcing them to write after a prompt, you're losing that interest, you're losing that motivation. So it's really important to give them lots of opportunities to brainstorm lists that they can use within the classroom. Now, for students who just cannot remember and just cannot come up with a topic on their very own, I do definitely have some little topics that they can pick from here. So these are different things that we've done, whether it be narrative, whether it be fictional narrative, and then now going into writing about information, like things that they know all about. So I will have all of these little kind of guidance I will have all of these different labels for them to be able to pick from if they just can't figure out what it is that they want to write about. They have somewhere to be able to definitely go to be able to figure out what is something that they could choose to work on independently. So I do still offer this, but I don't advertise it, if you know what I mean. So I really want them to get used to brainstorming their very own topics, and that is what I highly push. So just for management reasons, I will make sure that I am looking at where they are in that writing process, whether it be in the binders or if you have it posted in your room, but definitely give them that freedom. I know it's really scary because you don't exactly know where students are, but you can really incorporate during that writing time, incorporate a lot of those individual conferences, sitting down with students and really figuring it out, like reading their writing and figuring out where they are as writers and where you can kind of push them and grow them later on. So try it out. I promise, fail forward, it is going to be definitely okay. If you do fail the first time, you're just gonna have to tweak it. I can tell you that it has taken me quite some time to finally get to the point where I am now, and my students are really enjoying it. And what's fun is when they get to that very final publishing phase, they get so excited. I have kids creating movies, I have kids creating book trailers, I have kids who are publishing things online, I have kids who are creating actual paper books, I have kids creating things out of Book Creator. So it's amazing to see that passion and that love for writing and the achievement and how proud they are about their writing at the very end when they're sharing it to the class. So definitely make sure that you're trying that. Something else that I would encourage you to is that when you are doing writing, make sure that you're giving a vast variety of writing utensils. When I was in kindergarten, I had a ton of different choices of paper that my students were able to choose from. So I kept giving them that choice of paper. I also opened up construction paper, which was probably crazy and people think I'm insane, but I had one of those really long kind of pull-out drawers where it had all of the different colors of paper, of construction paper. And I let my kids go at it. Now, I did have to teach them a lot about management and how to clean up and how to go back and, you know, put things back where they were. But once we got that down, they absolutely loved using that, and the creativity was amazing. I also give my kids, even now, the choice of different writing materials. So I have things from crayons available to them. I have markers, I have skinny markers, I have Sharpies over here, I have colored pencils. So I give them tons of different, let me show you, I give them tons of different writing utensils that they can definitely choose from and be able to get to when they are going into that final process. I never want to hinder creativity. I want to kind of promote that creativity. So definitely find a space in your room, whatever works best for you, however you want to manage it, and keep it out there so that your students are able to get to it. That student choice, being able to have that responsibility, is a huge thing. So I need to get going because I've been here way too long, let me tell you. Okay, so I literally just drove up and I just realized that I forgot to end my vlog. So I'm so sorry that this vlog was probably a little scattered in the morning. I hope you were I hope that you got some really good ideas as far as how you can incorporate a little bit more choice with writing, how you can also how you can also manage that choice with writing, and how powerful it really can be to really implement that inside of the classroom. So definitely leave some comments down below telling me whether you are implementing it, how are some things that you're doing, what are some things that you're doing. Share it out with the people in this community. I know a lot of people would appreciate it, and my way is of course not the only way. So I would love to hear from all of you as far as what do you do with writing to incorporate some of that student choice. Be sure, guys, to give this video a thumbs up, share it out, subscribe, and hopefully I will talk to you really, really soon. I have a meeting that I am out all day tomorrow, so I don't think I'm gonna vlog tomorrow, but I will definitely do it on Friday because I have one other way to incorporate student choice that I do want to talk to you about. So there may not be a video the next day, but maybe on Sunday. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. Again, give it a thumbs up, share it out, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love, love, love to always hear from you. You guys are amazing people. You guys rock it every single day. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you later on. Bye.